Cosmetics are important for any fighting game. DLC or not, they add a lot of replay value for when you really get tired of seeing the same version of Mario doing the same forward aerial over and over again. Cosmetics in Rivals of Aether are some of the best I've ever seen, ranging from the good old US of A to just a guy chilling on a pool floaty. Today we are going to be covering every single unique skin that Rivals of Aether has to offer. The majority of the skins are paid DLC skins that are only temporarily available on the RCS store. Hopefully that changes in the future so you don't have to wait to buy the specific skin that you want, but it's what we have at the moment. I will not be covering each individual skin, however. Basically, if they're just a change in color palette with no special taunt, I will not be covering them. So, this will be the only mention of ranked gold skins and abyss skins in this video. So without further ado, let us begin. For starters, we have the EA skins, or the Early Access skins. The only way you can obtain these is by having purchased the game in Early Access or by kickstarting the game. I've been told that if you buy old Steam keys off of Humble Bundle, then you might be able to get these skins as well. I haven't tried this out, nor do I plan on it, but if you really need to see a Game Boy version of your favorite furry, then I guess you know what to do. Personally, I wouldn't risk the cash though. The gimmick of these skins is that they do not have shading. These skins do not have a unique taunt, they just look a lot more pixelated than the regular skins. As a result, I will not be covering them individually throughout the video, unlike the next batch of skins. Infamous skins are obtainable if you purchase the Rivals of Aether character DLC packs before it was automatically upgraded to the Definitive Edition. Clarien, Ranno, Shovel Knight, Ori, Sylvanos, and Elliana used to all be paid DLC that came with a unique stage. Since the Definitive Edition has all the characters free of charge, you can no longer purchase the DLC for these characters. Each skin corresponds to the DLC character you owned before the Definitive Edition came out. So, if you owned Clarien and Ranno, but not Elliana and Sylvanos, you would get the infamous skins for Clarien and Ranno, but not for Elliana and Sylvanos. All infamous skins have a primarily blue color palette, and all taunts involve your character pulling out some kind of spray can, then spray painting your rival's tag on stage. Your name stays there for the entire match until you spray paint it elsewhere. If you use taunt without a tag, infamous is tagged instead of your name. All characters have champion skin variants that were originally obtained by participating in online tourneys hosted by the Rivals team. For the most part, they are all the same. All have a light green and gray color palette, they all have unique taunts featuring your characters taking out a trophy and presenting it. They also all have transparency in some part of their kit, which makes some of them not tourney legal. Kragg's rock is transparent, so it's hard to see on some stages, therefore it is banned from tournaments. I will be going over the specific examples of transparency when we get to each champion skin. The majority of characters have a golden skin that can be obtained through purchasing character plushies from the Symbiote Studios store page. All golden skins cause your character to sparkle throughout the match. All golden skins have a similar bright yellow color palette, which is supposed to resemble gold. A lot of the time, they kinda just hurt the eyes though. The golden skins also have unique taunts that relate to the plushie that was purchased via Symbiote Studios. Alongside the skins, the plushies that you purchase also come with enamel pins of your favorite character. It's a nice little bonus. Starting things off with Mollo, at the moment there are two available DLC skins. The first skin is the Champion Mollo skin, where Mollo throws out two sprinklers and does a victory pose. Currently, there does not appear to be any transparency for the Mollo Champion skin. The Arcade Mollo skin is a black and light green color palette initially. The color palette changes every time Mollo loses a stock, so Mollo is either light green, pink, or light blue in color. If you finish a game while on the light blue color, you start your next match with that color. Online, the color of your skin is client side, so your opponent might see a different color for your character. This is true for all the arcade skins. The Arcade Mollo skin features a Minesweeper taunt that lets you play a miniature game of Minesweeper. If you win, Mollo gives you a thumbs up. This thumbs up is a reference to the original workshop version of Mollo, who featured this as his taunt instead of the bullfinger metal pose Mollo does now. If you lose Minesweeper, the game explodes on Mollo. Mollo's Minesweeper taunt, Mollo's bomb explosions, and particle effects are also pixelated and change color. All arcade skins feature this theme. pixelated particle effects, and your skin changes every time you die. The arcade Mollo skin is my preferred choice of cosmetic for Mollo. Moving on to Clarien, being the fan favorite of rivals, she has 7 available skins, all of which you can take her mask off with, just like her base skins. Her champion skin features her pulling out a trophy and giving the victory sign with it. Champion Clarien has a transparent visor, the main color of her sword is transparent, and all of her bands are transparent, so her wristband, her armband, everything. Her sword trails are also transparent. Heatwave Clarien has a dark blue and black color palette. Her tippers showcase 2 different colors at the same time, and if you slow down the game, you can actually see an Arizona flag every time Clarien gets a tipper. Her taunt grows a cactus, and every time you press the taunt button, you grow your cactus another stage. The cactus grows up to 3 sizes of its original size and stays on screen until someone attacks it. Once attacked, the cactus gets cut and falls off screen shortly after. Her side special also features a cactus kinda like the substitution jutsu from Naruto. Clarien has a golden skin that causes her to sparkle. Clarien's golden skin taunt is a Dragon Ball Z Saiyan ship crash landing right in front of her, from which she pulls out a plushie of Clarien and presents it to the camera. Infamous Clarien pulls out a spray can and spray paints your name on stage. Arcade Clarien has 3 different skins that rotate every time she loses a stock. She swaps between light green, pink, and light blue for her color palette. Your tippers also change color every time you lose a stock. Her taunt is a ball. You can have up to 4 balls on screen at the same time. The balls can be hit by anyone and will bounce around accordingly, so you can effectively just play a game of Pong in your Rivals of Aether video game. If the ball reaches the blast zone, a point achievement sound is played. Hero Clarien originally was available as part of the shop for the Hyrule Saga in 2018, a tourney that was sponsored by Nintendo. It is currently only available via giveaway from any official Rivals of Aether stream. Hero Clarien legally has nothing to do with The Legend of Zelda, but her taunt has the Triforce from Legend of Zelda. Her tippers and side special have both triangles akin to the Triforce. By default, you have a fairy from Legend of Zelda following you around as well. The fairy was inspired by Navi. That fairy. The color palette is like Zelda from The Legend of Zelda. Little known fact, Hero Clarien was inspired by The Legend of Zelda. Shocking, I know. Genesis Clarien has a color palette of red, black, and white. Her tippers are all diamonds, and her taunt is by far one of the coolest in the game. Her default taunt is Genesis 5, and depending on the input used when taunting, she can choose between several different emotes. If you hold up in taunt, Clarien gives a thumbs up. If you hold down in taunt, Clarien gives a thumbs down. If you taunt and press neutral special, Clarien gives a KO. You taunt and jump, and you get the OK symbol. Taunt and special is a tongue sticking out face, and taunt and strong attack is a O face. Taunt and parry is QQ, and taunt and back is a smiley face. Last but not least, taunt and forward is a frowny face. To my knowledge, that is all the different types of taunts you can use with Genesis Clarien. All taunts are still performable with her visor off as well. My preferred cosmetic for Clarien is the Arcade Clarien skin. Forsburn has 5 available cosmetic skins. All taunts can be duplicated with his Smoke clone. Golden Forsburn's taunt is that he pulls his cape back and launches mini Forsburn plushies out from under his cape. This taunt can be held, but unfortunately it does not do damage. Smoke clones can also not hold it. Oversmoke's colors do not change for Golden Forsburn, so I guess it just provides a competitive advantage. Lovers of Aether Forsburn makes an appearance as one of 5 available cosmetics from the Milestone system, looking exactly how he does in Lovers of Aether. Forsburn looks super emo, his smoke has little hearts on them, just like the Valentine seasonal skin of Forsburn. His taunt is that he writes in a book. His smash attacks are replaced by the same book instead of his regular cape. Dreamscape Forsburn has a color palette akin to the starry night sky. His cape has stars on the inside of it, and his smoke has a similar vibe going on as well. Oversmoke has a dark blue color palette. His taunt features him throwing his cape in the air with stars coming out. Heatwave Forsburn is a proud representative of the state of Arizona. Featuring a dark blue color palette, his smoke has the Arizona flag on it. When he uses his down special, it explodes into the flag of Arizona. Oversmoke has a dark blue color palette very similar to Dreamscape Forsburn. His taunt involves him growing a cactus and putting a cape, mask, and dagger on it. It stays on screen until you taunt again. If you taunt while the cactus is off stage, the cactus will fall until it leaves the screen or until it hits the ground. Genesis Forsburn has a black, red, and white color palette. The fire on his body also glows a vibrant red. His smoke glitches out, showcasing a whole lot of static and the occasional G4, standing for Genesis 4. Oversmoke is red, and his taunt is pretty similar to a Dragon Ball Z power-up. Lastly, Champion Forsburn holds a trophy above his head like Zelda when he finds a useful piece of gear. Like the Golden Forsburn, the Smoke clone cannot hold this taunt. Champion Forsburn's mane, loincloth, buttons holding his cape, and the back end of his dagger all have some kind of transparency. The flame effects on up special and down special are also slightly transparent. My preferred skin choice for Forsburn is Dreamscape Forsburn. Zetterburn has 6 cosmetic skins. First and foremost is Excalibur Zetterburn. Excalibur Zetterburn was originally created by YouTuber Alpharad as a joke about edgy OCs. It was a reward for a challenge set by Dan Fernacey, the sex god himself. Basically, Alpharad had to get to wave 40 in an early version of Abyss Endless mode with no runes. The Excalibur skin was initially released via giveaway from that same video. Link to the video in the description below. As expected, Excalibur has an overly edgy color palette. Dark red and black, similar to Shadow the Hedgehog. His taunt features Excalibur pulling out a sword and putting it into the ground. If you taunt while at the end of the platform or stage, you can actually just have the sword float there, a reverse of the King Arthur fable. Shine Zetterburn has a yellow and light blue color palette, and was made to promote the tournament series Shine in 2018. Shine closed its doors in 2023, so unfortunately the tourney series is over. Shine Zetterburn is based off of Fox McCloud in his Super Smash Bros. Melee appearance. His neutral special turns into a shine like the aforementioned Fox's down special from Melee. His taunt is also similar to Fox's taunt from Melee. Golden Zetterburn's taunt involves him pulling out a plushie, poking the plushie, turning it into gold like the Midas touch, and then exploding the plushie, removing it from existence. Steampunk Zetterburn involves him starting the match in a costume that resembles a traveling warrior. If you move, the costume comes off. The color palette is orange and dark green. His taunt causes a puff of smoke to come out of nowhere and change his outfit to what it was when the match started. It comes off if you move. All 4 Steampunk skins were originally given to RCS participants in anticipation for the definitive edition getting released. Champion Zetterburn is an all-gray and all-black color palette. Champion Zetterburn's fire effects, Shine, Fireball, Down Special Flames, are all translucent. His mane is translucent on the character select screen, but not in-game. For his taunt, he pulls out a trophy and holds it triumphantly. Lovers of Aether Zetterburn is the second of 5 costumes unlockable via the milestone system. Zetterburn has his regular color palette, but he wears a sports coat, jeans, and shoes. His taunt involves him pulling out a football, and most importantly, he smiles. When he runs, he loses his smile for his regular frown. His walking animation changes to Zetterburn putting his hands into the pockets that he has now. My preferred cosmetic for Zetterburn is, of course, Lovers of Aether Zetterburn. Tons of potential for custom colors, and I'm a sucker for a smile. Olympia has 2 cosmetic skins. Champion Olympia doesn't appear to have transparency. Her taunt involves her smashing a crystal gauntlet on the ground and having it reform into a trophy. Golden Olympia has the most tame version of yellow used for any of the golden skins. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, there are no sparkles for Golden Olympia, however, which is very sad. Golden Olympia's taunt involves Olympia smashing the ground only for an Olympia plushie to show up. She grabs the plushie, presents it, and throws it behind her. If you hit an opponent, it does 1 damage on hit, with no hit stun. Her taunt is parryable and will do 1 damage back on hit. Practice safe taunting. Sylvanos has 5 cosmetic skins. Starting off, Steampunk Sylvanos has a turquoise and brown color palette. At the beginning of the match, he has a metal jaw and his tail emits smoke. His taunt turns him into a robot. He stays a robot until you move. If you re-input taunt while still roboticized, Sylvanos will let off some steam and a growl. You can actually still use the default Sylvanos taunt if you use Burrow and then immediately taunt, regardless of the skin you use. Golden Sylvanos is my least favorite golden skin aesthetically. He looks like piss. For his taunt, he pulls out a plushie of himself and holds it. If you move at all, he drops the plushie. If you press taunt again while holding the plushie, he will tear it to shreds. Infamous Sylvanos pulls out spray cans and marks your username on the stage while also painting over himself. He shakes the paint off and goes about his day. That's it. Champion Sylvanos has transparency on the petals on his body, his tail, his petals during Nair, his mouth during his side special and up special chomp, his whips when doing jab, his down tilt, his fair, and up air. His taunt involves him pulling out a trophy out of his face. What does this imply about the abilities of Sylvanos? Is he some eldritch deity? Is he some kind of god? In the Rivals of Aether lore? Kinda. He's also a shapeshifter. That's probably an easier answer. The petals on his trophy taunt are transparent. His flowers, petal wave, and down special whips are solid despite sharing the same color. His original taunt has his mouth and base transparent. Genesis Sylvanos is my personal favorite Sylvanos skin. His color palette is red, white, and black, making it the perfect choice for edgelords. His tail and back glow red. Genesis Sylvanos' taunt involves him doing his side special, only for it to glitch out and have to reload. It also leaves an effect trail of misaligned numbers that follow him around for a short time. It's my favorite skin to use with custom colors for Sylvanos. Maypul has 6 cosmetic skins. Goat Maypul is for the tournament series Gamers on the Edge, which helps raise money and awareness for many Children's Miracle Network hospitals. Purchasing any of the Goat DLC acts as a donation to the cause. Goat Maypul has an orange and yellow color palette. Lily is replaced by a dragon, and Maypul throws coins instead of the regular seeds. Maypul's taunt involves the dragon coming out of the ground to spit fire at Maypul, but Maypul ducks. When Lily is out and Maypul taunts, Lily still comes out and spits fire. Maypul still ducks, but it just looks more silly since you could be halfway across the stage and still Maypul is ducking Lily's fire. Golden Maypul has an adorable taunt where Maypul and Lily hug it out. When Lily is out on stage and you taunt, Maypul hugs a plushie of Lily instead. Ragnar Maypul has Maypul completely replaced with Brawlhalla's Ragnar. Lily is replaced with a weapon that in Brawlhalla you can pick up and use. Maypul seeds are replaced with throwable spike balls from Brawlhalla. All of Maypul's whips and leaves are replaced with lava-themed whips. Regular taunt is just a generic Brawlhalla taunt. Taunting when Lily is out changes Lily from the sword to the actual Lily, just with a really cool color palette. Arcade Maypul changes Lily to an arcade machine. Her regular seeds are replaced with arcade coins. When throwing seeds at Lily, Lily will reject them and spout them upwards, only to accept them on the way down. Similar to previous Maypul skins, her side special and aerial specials are also coin themed. Like the other arcade skins, Maypul's color palette changes every time Maypul loses his stock. You alternate between light blue, light green, and pink. Lily also changes based on which stock you are on. Her taunt involves Maypul high-fiving Lily due to some kind of device on her wrist. Her taunt doesn't change much if Lily is out, they just wave at each other instead of high-fiving. Unfortunately, Arcade Maypul doesn't feature a unique minigame like the other arcade skins do. Champion Maypul's taunt has Lily bouncing a trophy on her snout while Maypul claps for her. The only transparency for Champion Maypul seems to be her underside fur. Originally made for Plup by the Rivals team, Panda Maypul is my personal favorite Maypul skin. For her taunt, Maypul sits in place and drinks some tea. When taunting with Lily out, Lily turns into a cherry blossom. Kragg has 6 cosmetic skins. By far the strangest of the bunch is Burrito Kragg. The skin was added for the Rivals Rep Icon contest where the players would equip their favorite partnered esports team icon on Ranked. Whichever team had the most amount of ranked points by the end was the winner. The winner was Burrito Esports, who is now defunct as of 2019. Their Twitter account still tweets on occasion, giving away more Burrito Kragg skins. Burrito Kragg has a skin palette akin to a burrito. Kragg's rock has eyes, and yes, they do blink. Kragg's pillar is a burrito. Kragg's taunt involves Kragg eating a burrito. For whatever reason, burritos are canon in Rivals of Aether. Genesis Kragg was made for Genesis 8. Genesis Kragg is a black and red color palette. Both Kragg's pillar and rock are more block-like with the letter B on them. Genesis Kragg's taunt involves Kragg T-posing, saying Kragg via text-to-speech, and showcases the stage collision properties on screen. Officially, the letters have no meaning, but from what I've gathered, the B is for block and the J is for jump through. The T-posing Kragg model is actually Kragg's model for Rivals 2, which is currently unreleased. This was the Kragg model's first ever appearance. Golden Kragg's taunt involves Kragg earthbending a rock out of the ground. You can hit the rock to chisel it, and if you crack it enough and taunt again, one of 5 statues appears. A golden statue of Kragg flexing both arms upwards, Kragg turned around flexing one arm up and one down, Kragg stance like a ballerina, Kragg pointing upwards, or literally Kragg's rock appears on stage as a statue. All 5 statues stay on stage until Kragg taunts again. The fastest way I've found to create a statue is to taunt, down tilt 4 times, and then taunt again for a permanent set dressing for the stage. You can't actually create a statue on Kragg's pillar, as the statue dissolves whenever the pillar starts going down from someone standing on it. Champion Kragg's taunt involves Kragg pulling a rock from the ground, smashing it into a diamond trophy, then meditating right in front of it. Champion Kragg's rock, spikes, and pillars are also translucent. His horn and shell appear translucent on the character select screen, but not in-game. You can barely see it, but it's there. Summit Kragg was originally made to promote Smash Summit 2, Beyond the Summit. The creators of the Smash Summit tourney series dissolved in 2023 following financial issues. Summit Kragg is a red and white color palette. Summit Kragg is constantly snowed on by some unseen eldritch deity that the human mind simply cannot comprehend. This causes his snowy appearance. Kragg's taunt has Kragg shaking off the snow and crossing his arms. Kragg's pillar and rock also have the appearance that they have been snowed on. The newest skin in Kragg's closet is the Pool Party Kragg skin. The color palette is orange, yellow, and blue. Kragg's rock is replaced with a beach ball. His pillar is now a sandcastle. For his taunt, Kragg pulls out a pool floaty and relaxes on it. He puts sunglasses on and sits there, menacingly. You can move left and right while in the floaty, and that's about it. I prefer to use the Pool Party Kragg skin because I really like sandcastles. Wrastor has 6 cosmetic skins. The Streetwave Wrastor skin was originally created for Heatwave 5. Streetwave Wrastor has a green and blue color palette. There are 2 unique animations for this skin. For starters, whenever you run, Wrastor is seen wearing rollerblades and just skating along. His side special Slipstream involves Wrastor throwing out a Disc Tornado, officially called Disc Stream on the RCS store, which is a reference to Windjammers 2, a side event at Heatwave 5. When you run in Slipstream, Wrastor hunches over and lets the jetpack on his back propel him forward. His taunt has him trying to balance on one foot while wearing his rollerblades. The taunt ends when you eat shit, just like in the Tony Hawk games. Golden Wrastor's taunt is Wrastor pulling out a plushie version of Wrastor and throwing it in the air. If you have Slipstream out, they will fly with the current. If you don't, they'll just plummet to their demise. Wrastor actually watches them after he throws them in the air. If they despawn, he just looks into the abyss. Colgate Wrastor was made for the Big House 9. Colgate Wrastor is Wrastor if he was a football fan. At the beginning of a match, he is seen wearing sports fan attire, and rooting for his favorite team. He has this huge white outline at all times. For his Slipstream, he throws a football with a football field trailing behind that football. His taunt is Wrastor putting the mascot clothes back on and cheering. Bradshaw Wrastor is the second of 5 Milestone System skins. All of Wrastor's regular sprites are replaced with Bradshaw's instead, a far inferior choice if I'm being honest. The only real difference is his taunt, which is just a slightly different pose from the regular Wrastor skin. His up special sweet spot is also replaced with a honk instead of a screech. Champion Wrastor involves Wrastor pulling out a trophy. That's it. Champion Wrastor has transparency on his secondary color, his arms, head feathers, and tail. Slipstream's projectile also gains transparency for using this color. The final, and easily the best Wrastor skin, is the Spangled Wrastor skin. Originally made from Melee Goat Mango, Spangled Wrastor is here to make his opponents red, white, and blue. Wrastor is changed to resemble the American flag. Wrastor's slipstream is also the American flag. Spangled Wrastor's taunt involves Wrastor pulling out the American flag and placing it on the ground. America, fuck yeah. Absa has 7 cosmetic skins. Penguin Absa is a skin made for the top player Penguin. Penguin Absa has a black and white color palette. Absa's clouds are all replaced by mini penguins. If you pop the penguin cloud with an aerial, they'll explode into many little penguins. Her penguin cloud displays as a regular cloud when off screen. The taunt for Penguin Absa has Absa pulling out a pack of Mentos and having it get stolen by Forsburn. What an asshole. In all seriousness, the taunt is based on a loser's semi-finals set at Smash and Splash 4, where mid-set, Cake Assault, the #1 player and #1 Forsburn in the world, walks over to Penguin and steals some of his mints. The devil incarnate, truly. Golden Absa's taunt involves Golden Absa pulling a beanbag chair that resembles Absa, and laying down on it. Lovers of Aether Absa is the 4th skin from the Milestone system. Absa wears a dress, glasses, and a regular color palette. Her taunt involves her pulling out a book, ripping a page out, and eating that page, just like how she does in her Lovers of Aether appearance. Champion Absa pulls out a trophy of a Thunderbolt, just like how Zelda pulls out an item from a chest from A Legend of Zelda. Champion Absa has transparency on her horns and belt. Twitch Absa was originally only available by being a Rivals Twitch streamer. As such, she is a reference to Twitch. Her cloud is the Twitch logo, and for her taunt she pulls out a cloud as a seat, a computer, and some snacks. She also starts gaming. If you hold the taunt for long enough, you'll eventually hear her boot up Rivals, and an 8-bit version of the Rivals of Aether theme will play. Steampunk Absa has a green and blue color palette. When the match starts, Absa is seen wearing her blacksmith attire. The costume disappears whenever you move or attack. Her taunt will put the costume back on, along with a glove. Every time you press taunt, Absa will do a fist bump and summon lightning. You can summon lightning as many times as you press taunt. Finally, High Roller Absa makes her mark on the video. High Roller Absa has a brown color palette. Absa's cloud is changed to dice that alternate their number every few seconds. Your Thunder Kicks now have numerical values to them that range from 1 to 6. If you Thunder Kick a dice cloud and the combined total of the numerical value of your kick and the number of your dice add up to 7, you'll get a jackpot that has a bunch of casino playing chips fly out and bounce around. This is a reference to the casino game Craps, or 7 is the most important number in that game. Long story short, if a 7 rolls, you crap out. When offstage, her dice clouds display as regular clouds. Her taunt involves Absa pulling out a card that says the letter L on it. Excellent for BM. High Roller Absa is my favorite skin due to what it adds to playing the character. Imagine how cool an Absa combo video would be if on the final hit of the combo, you get a jackpot. You're playing against a friend and you want to BM them? Give them the L. High Roller Absa is easily one of the best DLC skins in the game, hands down. Elliana has 6 cosmetic skins. Starting off, Goat Elliana has a golden black color palette. Her taunt involves her breathing fire, similar to Goat Maypul's taunt, where Lily does the same thing. Infamous Elliana simply has Elliana pulling out a spray paint can and tagging the stage with your username. Golden Elliana has by far the most bizarre taunt, turning her mech into a literal Gundam. I don't know why, I don't understand it, but I'm happy it's here. Ayala Elliana is the final Milestone system skin. Basically, the creator of the mech, Ayala, is the one piloting the mech. Her taunt just has Ayala doing maintenance on the mech. Champion Elliana has the most unique champion taunt. Instead of pulling out a trophy and presenting it, the trophy she pulls out is on fire, so she tries to blow it out only for it to blow up in her face. She has transparency on her actual body and the light colors of her mech, the vents, rims, and feet. She also has slight transparency on her goggles. The final Elliana cosmetic is Arcade Elliana. This is the final arcade skin, and like all the others, your color changes every stock. Elliana changes between light blue, light pink, and light green every stock. Overheat strong attacks, mines, and missiles are all pixelated. Her taunt allows you to play the game as Snake. Pretty charming. Arcade Elliana is both my favorite arcade skin and my favorite Elliana skin. Snake is just a really fun game. Pomme has 2 cosmetic skins. Champion Pomme has her bouncer Vincent presenting her with a music note trophy. Champion Pomme appears to have no transparency, so she is just a less viable version of regular Pomme. You know, since her taunt is changed, giving her less coverage options from the mic drop to this. Yuck. Pool Party Pomme has an orange and yellow color palette. Vincent has a tank top and shorts instead of his regular suit. Pomme's taunt involves Vincent pulling out a speaker on his shoulders and playing dazzling Dark Future. This overwrites the music for the stage. If you stay idle while the taunt is out, Pomme will join in on the presentation and do a show for you. It's the same animation that plays in the Rivals music selection menu for Dazzling Dark Future and on the Neo Jules Vale stage. The taunt is active until the opponent hits Vincent. If you have music turned off on the menu, then no music will play for this taunt. The animations actually do sync up to the music to some degree, which is pretty cool. Pool Party Pomme is my favorite Pomme cosmetic skin. Orcane has 6 cosmetic skins. Starting off with the newest skin in Orcane's arsenal, Grassroots Orcane is a brown and green color palette. All of his bubbles are replaced with leaves. His taunt has Orcane pulling a flower out of his tail and planting it. After a short while, they'll despawn. You can have up to 4 flowers on screen at a time. If you use your forward tilt on them, you can actually eat the flowers. Pretty groovy. Steampunk Orcane has a brown and turquoise color palette. Every match, Orcane starts off with a unique costume featuring Orcane and goggles. Steampunk Orcane's taunt has Orcane sitting on his tail, smoking a pipe with his goggles on. That's about it. Summit Orcane was made for Smash Summit 3 and has a red and black color palette with an asterisk. The bubbles from Orcane's down special are snowflakes that make a tinkling sound. Same with the bubbles from his fair. Summit Orcane's taunt has Orcane rolling on his back, presenting his belly, presumably for belly rubs. If you use taunt on Orcane's puddle, the black part of Orcane turns white and remains white until you taunt again. When you do taunt again, Orcane shakes the white off of him. Golden Orcane has a really shiny skin palette, until you use a smash attack. Then it looks like a gross yellow. I don't know why this happens, but I'm not really a fan of it as I think it makes the skin a lot worse. Golden Orcane has a taunt where, when you press taunt, he turns into a trophy. It looks pretty derpy. Champion Orcane's taunt has Orcane sitting down and having a water geyser push up a trophy while he laughs maniacally at it. There is transparency on his water from strong attacks, his underside, and his side special with puddle. The final Orcane skin is the Pool Party Orcane skin. The color palette has Orcane looking like a banana. Pool Party Orcane has waves that are passively animated for the entire match. The white portion of the waves is always on top, while the yellow portion of the waves is always on the bottom. This is the only skin with that effect at the time of recording. Orcane's taunt changes Orcane randomly into one of 5 items. A beach chair, a palm tree, a fancy drink, a pool floaty, or a beach ball. Truth be told, I feel like Orcane has some of the weakest selection of DLC skins, so I don't really care which skin I play as when I play Orcane. But normally I just go with the Pool Party one. Etalus has 5 cosmetic skins. Genesis Etalus has a black and red color palette. The armor for Genesis Etalus is a vibrant red, with the same glowing effect as Sylvanos' petals and Forsburn's fire. His side special and his down special, Ice, are both red as well. For his taunt, Etalus pulls a TV out of the ground that stays there until you taunt again. Every time the TV is hit, the channel changes. The channel changes between a picture of the Frozen Fortress stage, the Genesis 7 logo, the Rivals of Aether title screen, and Mr. Kai, the English teacher from Lovers of Aether. Mr. Kai is based off of one of Ranno's masters, Master Kai. You could see a statue on Ranno's stage, Swampy Estuary. He also has a card in Creatures of Aether. Pool Party Etalus was my favorite Pool Party skin before Pool Party Kragg came out. For starters, Etalus's frozen armor and ice are multicolored like rainbow sherbet ice cream. For whatever reason though, his side special icicles and down special ice are just the regular color instead of ice cream themed, which is very sad. Pool Party Etalus's taunt involves Etalus sitting down, pulling out an ice cream cone and placing it on the ground, and demanding ice cream from what can only be seen as some kind of eldritch deity. Ice cream comes flying in from off-screen straight for the ice cream cone you've set down. Every time you taunt without moving, Etalus snaps his fingers for another serving of ice cream. If you move, you have to start all over. You can continue stacking ice cream for a seemingly infinite amount of time. If the ice cream is attacked by any player, it'll fall over and you'll have to start again. Champion Etalus involves Etalus pulling out a trophy, which is exciting. If you armor before taunting, the trophy turns black. Champion Etalus has a slight transparency on his fur in-game, as well as on the character select screen. Panda Etalus changes Etalus from a polar bear to a panda bear, in the look and style of Panda Esports, a now less than popular operation. Panda currently has no players due to the controversy around the Smash World Tour. Their website remains up, but their team is basically defunct. All ice for Panda Etalus is now green instead of the usual blue. His armor is green and his taunt has Etalus sitting down, pulling out a tier list and putting Etalus in S tier. Whoever his opponent is in F tier. All other characters will randomly appear in B tier from time to time. The final Etalus skin is Golden Etalus. Golden Etalus's taunt has Etalus donning a robe and crown to become the true king we all know he is. Even though golden skins have sparkle normally, when you armor up with Etalus, you get even more sparkles, which is amazing. I love this skin. All of Etalus skins, except for the champion skin, are absolute bangers. All of the taunts and unique attributes are a lot of fun and are some of the only skins I actively swap between while playing as Etalus. Etalus has by far the best skins, hands down. Ranno has 5 cosmetic skins. Champion Ranno has Ranno pulling out a trophy. He also has transparency on everything involving his poison. His poison sac, his strong attacks, his needles, his up special, his poison markers on opponents, and tongue are all transparent. Golden Ranno's taunt has Ranno spawning a squeaky toy that Ranno hugs. That's about it. Tuxedo Ranno changes Ranno's normal attire in favor for a suit. Good choice if you ask me. Ranno throws roses instead of needles. For his taunt, Ranno throws a rose behind him that does exactly 1 damage with no hit stun. It can be parried for invincibility frames though, so practice safe trash taunting. Funny enough, if you get hit by a rose, or parried rose, it doesn't remove your after image. This is a reference to Dudley's taunt from Street Fighter 3. Pool Party Ranno changes Ranno's shorts to Hawaiian swimming trunks. His bubble is now a beach ball and his taunt has Ranno surfing, which can be held until he is hit. Infamous Ranno's taunt has Ranno pull out a bubble. The bubble turns out to be a spray can, tagging the stage, then throwing the can away. It's worth noting that all of Ranno's taunts can still be used to activate Ranno's afterimage, which can be activated by doing a wave dash into a taunt. Truth be told, I swap between both Pool Party Ranno and Tuxedo Ranno as I'm a sucker for both looks. Hodan has 1 cosmetic skin. Genesis Hodan changes his sweat steam into binary code. His sweat clouds glitch out with error messages whenever they are on screen. For his taunt, he puts his hands together and a speech bubble shows up saying 1 of 7 things. Hello name. Button spam detected. Need help? Get iloveyou.roa now. Get good. Disable Rockwall. And finally, download skill.roa. This is a reference to the Bonsai Buddy, a virtual assistant from the 90s that turned out to be spyware. At the time of the recording, there is no champion skin for Hodan. Shovel Knight has 3 cosmetic skins. Shovel Knight's golden skin replaces the regular merchant with King Knight. His Dynamo Mail color palette is white but with a yellow coating. His Mail of Momentum has a black color palette with a yellow coating. And finally, if you buy the golden armor while wearing the golden skin, nothing changes. Woohoo! Kinda disappointing. The color palette doesn't really change much. There just looks to be more sparkles. I feel like there should have been something more since the skin costed me $30. Sure, I got the plushie and enamel pin out of it, but I feel like there should have been more. It's pretty disappointing. Champion Shovel Knight's merchant is literally non-existent. Instead, Shovel Knight just rummages through the chest on his own in search of the item he's looking for. Champion Shovel Knight has transparency on his horns and his horn attack. His Dynamo Mail is gray with the same colored horns, and his Mail of Momentum is nearly pitch black. His golden armor is shockingly golden. Infamous Shovel Knight's taunt has a propeller rat from the Prime Door Keep stage from Shovel Knight spray tag your name on stage while you're in the shop. His Dynamo Mail isn't really noticeably that different. His Mail of Momentum is a darker shade of blue, and his golden skin is still golden. Shocking. Regardless of which skin you use, the 2 hidden taunts remain the same. And finally, the last character on the list, Ori, has 2 cosmetic skins. Champion Ori is Ori pulling out a trophy base, and Sein going up and being the actual metal part of the trophy. Champion Ori has transparency on her secondary colors. Infamous Ori pulls out a spray paint can and tags the stage with your username. That's it. Maybe 5 sentences of dialogue to finish the video out. As of recording, this is every single cosmetic skin currently available in Rivals of Aether. Did I miss anything? Let me know in the comments. You learn anything? Let me know in the comments. Did you care at all about anything I had to say? Let me know in the comments. This is by far the longest script that I've ever written, and by far the most amount of research I've ever had to do. So it'd mean a lot to me if you gave this video some support. A huge thank you to ColbyjackC and Lilfox for providing some of the footage used for the Burrito Kragg, Hero Clarien, and Champion skin segments. Thank you very much to Cyberhex and Zoomander for fact-checking and proofreading the script, as they know a lot more about the game than I do. And undoubtedly, my biggest helper by a long shot has got to be TMK Dash, for not only providing me with a lot of the necessary footage for this video, but also going above and beyond when it came to proofreading the script and recording every niche detail I asked him to. Without their help, this video would not have been possible. I would also like to thank my cat Squeaks for making the recording of the footage 10 times harder than it had to be, simply by being in front of both of my monitors at the same time whenever I tried to record. Thank you so much, Cat. That's all for the credits. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a good day. Ciao.